piece for my friend here in Nanda about the history of Western music, and one of the big factors involved in that was this gentleman right there, Robert Johnson. He's legendary because Robert Johnson couldn't play the blues. He lived in the 20s, I think, 20s or 30s, and he would go to these juke joints to hear other players play, and in their breaks he would ask if he could get up and play, and he played terrible. People, oh no, not Robert. And this went on for a while, and then finally, as the legend goes, he took off for like 6 months and wasn't seen. And he came back, and when he came back, he could play so incredible that people started getting like superstitious. What did he do? How did he get so good? And that's where the legend started about the selling your soul to the devil, the Faustian type of legendary. Yeah. And so what happened was, they recorded him, I think, in this building, and he did 2 takes of all his songs, and they were perfect tempo, perfect chord, never a single mistake.
I was thinking this was a new building.
Maybe it is, but it was Deep Ellum where he recorded those first tracks. And I'll play them for you in a little bit. It might as well be Segovia, on the guitar in his version of Delta Blues. So they called him the King of the Delta Blues. But some of his songs are about the devil.
Oh, really?
And so there's a lot of folklore that goes behind that he might have done something. He said that you go to the crossroads, this certain crossroads in Mississippi, and the devil pulls up in a limo, and you hand him your guitar. He plays it and hands it back to you, and that's the ceremony of selling your soul to Satan. Well, when you hear this guy play, it makes you wonder. He has songs like Hellhounds on My Trail. But when I got into it in the 1980s, there was no photograph of the guy that anybody knew of. And Columbia Records finally found 2 photographs, and that's one of them right there.
Wow, okay.
Of Robert Johnson, but the King of the Delta Blues. Then all these great bands came and took his material and transformed it into rock and roll, like Down at the Crossroads by Cream and Eric Clapton. And then there's Love in Vain by the Rolling Stones, and a number of other famous songs that they took from Robert Johnson.
So he's the founder of rock and roll, basically.
I'd say so. He played the Delta Blues, but it all led into, the British.
And they couldn't say Elm, and the black way to say Elm is Ellum. So I'll see you down in Deep Ellum instead of Elm Street.
That's part of the lingo.
Yep.
So anyway, Robert Johnson.
Thank you guys.
You heard that from Michael Henning here, class of 77, W.T. White. Good old Colonel Sanders, class of 90, but here we are.
So Elvis Presley and all came later, basically.
Yeah, they came later. And it's funny because I was with Stevie Ray Vaughan. You ever heard of Stevie Ray Vaughan? You're not an American fan yet. But,
I don't want to lie, but
I was with Stevie Ray when he was just getting his record deal going, and the Rolling Stones were recruiting him to come join their label.
Was this in Dallas or Austin?
I hung out with him here in Dallas there was Nick's Uptown at the time, and we left Nick's and went back to his hotel with La Quinta, and I wanted him to hear some of my music so that maybe we could open for him. His success started going.
Yeah, because Mike used to be a famous musician back in the day.
Stevie Ray was famous, but he took the jam box that I had with my cassette, and he looked all around the room where to play it, to get the right acoustics. And we ended up in the bathroom with it in the bathtub facing up, and he listened to some of my songs. Then we went out in the other room. We started talking. I said, Stevie, I don't know what your beliefs are or anything, but you be careful when you're dealing with bands like the Rolling Stones, because there's a lot of satanic inferences on their records all throughout and he said, really? He was not aware of it. I showed him some of the things, a lot of the things, even some of the titles of the albums, like His Satanic Majesty's Request. I mean, it's pretty obvious. But his bass player walked in the room at the time we were having this conversation, and he listened in, and he says, hey, wait a minute, Stevie, don't listen to this guy. You don't know what he's talking about. Those guys are just pure rock and roll. The Rolling Stones are just rock and roll. Don't listen to them, because they were being courted by the Rolling Stones to sign on to Rolling Stone Records. Well, I don't know if it had any effect or anything, but when he finally signed a deal with the record label, it was with Epic, not with the Rolling Stones.
Wow.
You never know.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.